friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and I sell them for a profit. Usually, I do a ship with me video where I show you what sells on a regular basis, but it's Thanksgiving, and I did not ship today. I celebrated with my family, and if you are in the US, see the American Thanksgiving. No, it's not even the American Thanksgiving. United States Thanksgiving. Hopefully you celebrated as well. I often hear things that we should do as resellers, and I was thinking about some things that I don't do as a reseller. And I want to tell you kind of my perspective, my where I'm coming from when I share this with you. So first of all, I'm part-time. This is not a full-time gig for me. This is kind of extra money for our family. It's beneficial money for our family. But I don't cover bills. I'm not paying rent or our mortgage. I'm not supporting my family with this income. I'm supplementing our family's income. I do this part-time as time-wise. I spend about 25 hours a week reselling, and that is kind of going slow and taking my time doing it. I live in the Midwest, Indiana, to be specific. I live in a smallish city, a small city, large town. I think of it as a small town, but in reality, it's not. There are 5 thrift stores within about 20 minutes of me, but the highest end clothing store we have around in like an hour is a Kohl's. So I don't come across a lot of high-end items very often. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, my perspective. You might be different. You probably are. We can't all do things the same way. So I think that's what I want to say. Oh, the other thing is my cost of goods is fairly low, around $2.50 per item. All right, so some things that I don't do. One, when I'm on here on YouTube, I don't pretend to be a professional, an expert. I have been doing this for about 3 years, but I don't know everything. I know about this much. I know what I've experienced. And so when I come here and say these are things that I don't do, I'm not telling you not to do them. I'm saying that this is what I don't do. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing my experience here. So some kind of practical things. I don't wash everything that comes into my house. If something needs washed, then I will absolutely wash it. But most people, for the most part, wash their items before they donate them. And so it's kind of redundant to wash them again. Now, if they have a smell or something on them, then yes, I will wash those items. I don't steam things or iron them. I did once upon a time. In fact, my first, 2 or 3 videos is like a montage of me ironing baby clothes to resell, because I started reselling by selling my little kids' clothes, the clothes that they had grown out of. And for some reason, I thought I needed to iron them before I listed them. I don't. Now, there are some items I do like to sell linen a lot, and there are some items that are a hot, wrinkled mess in my pictures. And I guess I just kind of go with it. Sometimes a lot of times, they still sell. Actually, I just wanted to add something to my list here that reminded me. So yeah, I don't steam things. I also, kind of along those same lines, I don't take super great pictures. I try to take good pictures, but they're okay. They're passable, and they still sell. Now, would my things sell more quickly if my pictures were fantastic and awesome? Maybe. I don't know. But because of the time constraints that I have and things like that, that's not the most important thing for me. For me, one of my mottos is done is better than perfect. I just don't do things perfectly. That's another, the pictures was kind of a subcategory of that. Like I said, for me, done is better than perfect. And so that comes to my videos. Unfortunately, those are never perfect. But in my pictures, this is always a mess back here. Things are just not ever completely tidy the way I want them to be, because done is better than perfect for me. I don't thrift daily. I thrift about once a week. I would love to thrift daily. That would be amazing. But again, within my time constraints, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I am a homeschool mom. I do not have time to get out and thrift every day. I set aside one day per week to thrift. It's usually Friday mornings. And I get out. I usually have a child or two with me. If I can go by myself, as a bonus. Would I be able to find things, better things, if I went more often? Maybe. But I am able to find things at a lower cost of goods at the couple thrift stores that I'm able to go to on Fridays. There's one that's only open on Saturday mornings and Tuesday nights. So about once a month, I will take an extra time frame to go to that thrift store. And often, once a month, I will take time to go on a big, long thrifting day to one of the larger cities near me, so either Fort Wayne or Indianapolis. I like to go to Indianapolis because that's my closest bins, the Goodwill outlet. It's about an hour and a half from me. But I do enjoy going there when I have the opportunity, but it takes a lot of time, so I don't thrift daily. I also don't list daily. Now, this is kind of a caveat, because I do list 6 days a week, but I don't ever list on Sundays. Now, there are exceptions. There's always exceptions to the rule. Sometimes if I have a very day off on Saturday, then I will list on Sundays instead of Saturdays, and I'll kind of trade that out. But for the most part, I really protect Sundays so that I'm not doing any work. For me, part of this has to do with my faith and kind of Sabbath. I don't need to go into all of that, but that is a part of it for me. But also, there are many studies that say when you take a break, when you take a rest from your work, that your time working, you're so much more productive. And I think that that's really important. Right now, I do all of my listings through Vendoo. That's a cross-listing service app. I don't know what it's called. Google extension. Anyway, is it a Google extension? It doesn't matter. Because of that, because I list through Vendoo, they do not offer an option to schedule listings. I might, if I was still listing through eBay, I might schedule listings on Sunday. I'm trying to remember if I did that prior, and I think I did for at least a portion of time. But currently I list 6 days a week, and that's it. Would I get more sales if I listed 7 days a week? Maybe. But for me, like I said, I'm very protective of that 1 day a week, having no work, giving my brain a rest from thinking about reselling and all things related. So that's really important to me. Kind of a practical thing. I don't offer free shipping, free returns. I don't offer free shipping kind of because of returns. When you get a return, if it is for fit or, I don't know, something that is because of the buyer, then the way I do it is a buyer paid return. So the buyer pays to ship the item back to me. I refund them the amount of the item, but not the amount of the original shipping cost. If I did free shipping, that would be all included together. It costs me money to ship that to them. So because my average sale price is fairly low, it's about $25. That's with shipping on eBay. 26, 27 actually is probably more accurate. I would really lose a lot of money if I had to pay for shipping both ways. So that's why I don't offer free returns. I do buyer paid returns. Of course, if something is my fault, I do pay for the return shipping as well as refund them the entire amount that they paid, because that's my fault. I need to take that on, and I'm willing to do so. Free shipping, if you are a regular here, you know my woes of calculated shipping right now, but I have used calculated shipping for 3 years. For 3 years, it worked really well for me. Recently, it's not working so great. It's just been off and charging too much. And so I'm playing with, as of the time that I'm filming this, recording this. Do we say film now? There's no film. As I'm recording this, I am still playing with the possibility of changing to a flat rate shipping. So I have not decided if I'm doing that yet. So no free shipping and no free returns. All right, I do not have a death pile. When I say that, I'm looking at piles of things back here, but none of them have been in my house longer than a month. And really, it's been about 2 weeks. I really try hard to get through the items that I'm thrifting so that I can sell them. That's my ultimate goal, to sell them, to make some money. And if they're sitting in a pile just waiting, then I can't sell them. And so I did a whole video on why I don't have a death pile, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. I don't even know. I don't even remember what all I said, but I do more have like an inventory processing system, maybe would be a better way to call it, where I just use bins, and I have like a bin of pants, a bin of shirts and dresses, and a bin of other things that I don't hang up, that when one bin gets full, I take all those pictures and get them listed. And then I kind of move to the next bin. So I try to keep that going. If I end up where I have a lot of inventory, then I will kind of put a moratorium on my thrifting, my sourcing. I had to do that to myself not that long ago. I had 6 bins of clothes that I was just struggling with our family schedule. I was struggling to get through. So I made myself get all of those items photographed. They're not all listed, but they are all photographed and put in my inventory system that you see behind me before I could thrift anything else. And I did it. I was really proud of myself. Sometimes it's really hard when I put a goal or I don't know what the right word is, but my oven is beeping. If you hear that, I apologize. It's not your oven, it's mine. Anyway, sometimes it's hard for me to follow through if I put that kind of goal or moratorium on myself. I go, it's fine. I was close enough, right? But I did it this time. It was great. I actually had a little sticky note with the boxes, and I crossed out when I got done with the bins that were waiting for me. The last thing I don't do is honestly something I try not to do, and that is to compare. I really try hard to not compare myself and my business with other people's. That's really hard on social media and YouTube. There are a lot of really great YouTubers that I like to follow. I'm not really on Instagram or other social media, but I know that there are many out there. And sometimes it's hard to not feel bad about myself, my situation, when I'm watching other people make 2, 3, 10 times as much money as I do, even saying that they put in as little or even less time than I do in my business. Sometimes I get jealous when I see thrift hauls and the kind of brands that people come up with and find. it's amazing and it can be really cool to watch, but it can also be really disheartening. And so I try really hard to keep a positive perspective on my own business and what I can achieve here in my area where I am. And with the time and the resources that I have available to me. There are so many different circumstances and situations. People can't possibly do everything the exact same way and achieve the same results. And so I really try hard to keep that perspective as I am reselling and being on YouTube and just in life, to know that my circumstances, my situation are unique to me, and it's okay to be different from other people and to seemingly maybe even do less. I do give myself permission to stop following people, to unsubscribe. I give you permission to unsubscribe from me if I cause you jealousy or upsettedness in yourself, because that's not what I want for you. I want to encourage and be a source of positivity, I guess. So, not that I'm always positive, because man, this business is hard. There are some days that are just real hard. So, I think that's all I have. I'm very curious what you don't do. Maybe it's something I've said, maybe it's something that's not on the list, and certainly there are other things on my list that I haven't mentioned that I just either haven't thought about or never made it to my list from my head, which is very possible. So make sure you comment below, tell me what you don't do as a reseller. If you're not a reseller, make sure you say hi. I would appreciate it. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you like reseller content. Like I said, I do ship with me videos almost every day. Again, I don't do them on Sundays. There's nothing to ship on Sundays anyway. So, or there's things to ship, nobody to ship them because the post office is closed. But I do just like to share kind of an honest perspective of what a part-time reseller sells in real time. So I do post daily what I'm actually shipping out. So if that's interesting to you, make sure you subscribe. You can turn on the little bell notification if you want. That would be great. Then you will know exactly when I've uploaded a new video every day, minus Sundays. I don't need to say that every time, I guess. But anyway, I really appreciate you being here with me. And thank you so much. I'll see you soon.